thank you so much for raising awareness on a very important issue of women and girls and education. I know in your program it says that I'm supposed to be speaking about the importance of women in jobs and skills training, but if anybody followed my career in politics, you know I don't really follow the rules too much. So I'm going to speak a little bit about that, but I think when we talk about the importance of women in jobs and skills training, we have to think about the importance of women in anything. The importance of women as politicians, as entrepreneurs, as stay-at-home moms. You know, the importance of women, period, is what we should be acknowledging. And I think it was alluded to a little bit earlier, but when we talk about when women are actively involved in any business, and this isn't just Celina saying this, because you know, people like to quote that Celina said, but my background is as a researcher, so I try to bring some evidence forward. When women are involved in business, those businesses have a greater return on investment. Their ROI increases. When women are involved in peace negotiations, the peace lasts for at least 9 to 12 years longer. When you invest in women, as this organization is doing tonight, when you invest in women, those women tend to return 90+% of that investment back to their communities. When you invest in women, we just get stuff done. Right? So I understand the importance of talking about women in jobs and skills training, but it's just important to talk about women and how completely incredible we are. And this is not to disrespect men, right? This is not to disrespect, because the speaker earlier was saying that we need to have that coalition. We need to have both of us supporting. But right now, we need to talk about the value of having women involved and women making that investment in women. And I could quote right now, I could sit and quote Malcolm X, who said, "Education is our passport to our future, for tomorrow belongs to the people who prepare for it today." I could quote Nelson Mandela, who said, "Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world." Very important, very poignant quotes that we could use for generations to come. But when I think about what we need to do with education, the responsibility of the educated mind, it's not just about having education. It is the responsibility that you have when you have an educated mind. What do you do with that? Now, I've heard people say that, you know, we can empower women. Women were born empowered. We've been empowered. What we can do with education is provide tools to fully realize the potential of that empowerment. That's what education does. But here in this room, we have a responsibility with our educated minds. We have a responsibility to, one, look to the past. The elder Irene and I were talking before this event began, and she said, the ancestors are here in this room. And I said, yes, they are. Because each and every one of us in here has a debt of gratitude to pay to those who prayed and hoped and dreamed for the day when we could be educated. We as people of color, we as women educated. So we owe a debt of gratitude to those people who sacrificed sometimes their lives for us to be in this space. Our ancestors. But at present, in order to honor our ancestors, the most powerful thing that we could use here is our voice. To talk about issues, to raise awareness, to push the status quo, to change the culture. And I would be remiss if on this day, as we're talking about education of women, if I don't cite the Quebec education minister, who said in a tweet on Friday that if Pakistan's activist Malala Yousafzai wanted to teach in Quebec, it would be an honor, but like any other open and tolerant country, teachers can't wear religious symbols while they exercise their functions. If we do not use our voices to stand up against stuff like that, what are we as a society? What are we when we say one of the greatest activists in our world right now who advocates for women's education cannot teach in our country when she wears her headscarf? Who are we? At present, we cannot honor our ancestors if we do not stand right now and use our voices to dismiss, to push back against this type of rhetoric. That is the responsibility of an educated mind. To say, not today. As a woman, as a black woman in this country, I understand that at some point, one of my intersecting identities did not have rights here. As a woman, we didn't have rights at some point. And as a person of color, we didn't have rights. Here in Canada, understand the truth to get to reconciliation. Be responsible with that educated mind so that we don't fall back into that trap. Use our voices. Use our voices to speak out. Use our voices to effect change. But also, the responsibility of the educated mind ensures that we look to the future. It ensures that we reach back as we climb up. That we look back at some of our young people, the young lady who recited the Quran. We have a responsibility to those young people to say that we see you, that we hear you. Because these young people who are fighting against climate change, who are ensuring that they are doing what needs to be done so that the world is a better place, who are saying, I'm possible, instead of saying it's impossible. This is what our young people are saying. This is what this organization does to give young girls the education that they need so that they can create the possible of tomorrow. This is what we are here for. We are here to ensure that we are honoring the past and we're sharing and using our voices to change the present, and we're paying it forward. And the responsibility of the educated mind is to do that rooted in kindness, rooted in love, rooted in understanding of our basic humanity towards each other. To understand that we don't just want to be the change that we want to see. We want to be the light that we want to see. That is the responsibility of the educated mind. That is what we are gathered here for tonight. So when they ask you to dig deep in your pockets, to make sure that this organization could thrive and survive and do what it needs to do to change the lives of women and girls, not just in Somaliland and Somalia, but beyond those borders, because the word will spread that this organization has done good. And when the word spreads that this organization has done good, it'll be because of you, because you took the time to be responsible with your educated mind. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Celina. That was very moving. It was really touching. On that note, we're going to take a short break for dinner. We wanted to take the time to thank these special ladies that took the time to make food for us. So please give it up for Fozia, Zahra, Roda, Asha, Zainab, and Sado.